Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Northern Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Northern Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I, as a contractor, appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor who's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
Good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Frank Gaetano here at the Hail Palace for your daily hail forecast. As always, sponsored by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and not Art of the Supplement anymore, the American Contractor Show. Sorry, John Dye, I'll get that right every time moving forward. American Contractor Show. Let's move in right to our weather headlines. We do have a broad risk area today, all the way from southern Texas all the way up to the upper Midwest, up into Wisconsin and parts of the northern Michigan area. Those storms will be widely scattered in the south, and then more coverage up to the north. And then tomorrow, the risk actually changes a little bit. Can the Northeast get in on the action tomorrow? I'll talk a little bit about that. And then what after that? We're going to look at the preliminary risk area for Thursday, see what's going on if the I-35 corridor can get in on the action. But first, let's talk about some events that we're going to be at Empower Field near Denver, Colorado on June 4th. We have the CRA trade show, so come out and see us at that. And then also June 16th to the 18th, 2021 Texas Roofing Conference at JW Marriott Resort in San Antonio, Texas. And then for the third one, we got Burgers and Bikes at the Fort Thunder Harley Davidson in Moore, Oklahoma on June 25th. So let's hop into what our current conditions look like right now. Oh wait, nope, yesterday's storm reports. Sorry, yesterday's storm reports first. So we had some storms in Kansas and Texas. I accidentally forgot to change this map, so Texas isn't showing here, but we did have some storms down in Texas as well. A bunch of tornado reports in northwestern Kansas. I believe there was twins on the ground in one of those, so there's some good videos and photos of that going around the internet. And let's take a look at where we're at for storm report totals. Yesterday we had 17 tornado reports, 22 hail reports, and 7 wind reports. That puts us at 464 for tornado reports this year, 2,339 for hail reports, and just over 3,000 for wind reports. We are below average this year compared to last year. Already almost 400 behind on tornado reports. Over 1,000 on hail reports, and then the wind, we had those derechos last year that really skyrocketed those wind reports, so we're way behind, and we are below average so far this year. I think summer might pick up though, so we'll see what happens, you know, at the end of June, going into July. I feel like summer is going to be busy, but we'll talk about that another time. Here's our current conditions right now. We do have some rain in northern Texas and eastern Oklahoma going into Arkansas. I do think that this rain is going to limit the severe weather risk for northeastern Texas. I'll talk about that in just a second, but down here in central Texas, I didn't include it in the risk area today, but we could see some scattered storms pop up later this afternoon as the destabilization comes back. So mainly a wind threat, some small hail. We'll try to see if we can squeeze some large hail out of that. but I didn't include it in the risk area, so I'm going to mention it now. Generally, in central Texas, south of Dallas, between Dallas and Houston area, we could see some scattered storms pop up this afternoon. And let's zoom in to see that rain moving through Dallas. That's been going all morning. We'll see if we can get some of that cloudiness to move out of the way, maybe get a storm to pop up around Dallas at some point today, but I'm not thinking it's likely, so that's why I didn't include it in the risk area. And we'll zoom back out and take a look at our temperatures, if my clicker will work. There we go. Fort Wayne coming in at 86, 87 in Atlanta, 83 in Miami, generally in the 70s and 60s through the plains, as we do have that rain moving through. And look at this. Basically, the entire eastern half of the country has really good moisture to work with today moving forward. We do see that moisture streaming up from the Gulf all the way up to the upper Midwest. 66 dew point in Minneapolis, that's ample moisture. 68 in Wichita and 66 in Dallas. Here's our future radar for today. We see this complex of storms moving through the Dallas area, and we push that forward. We see some of those scattered storms in eastern Texas popping up, and we see these widely scattered storms popping up along the Panhandle and western Texas down towards the Odessa Midland area. Let's push that forward a little bit. Not a lot of coverage in western Texas today, so pretty marginal risk in terms of coverage. Any storms that do go up, we could see some tennis ball size hail in those storms. You do see a little thunderstorm cluster popping up this evening, and it's going to move northeastward towards Wichita. So Wichita, you do have a shot at some hail tonight. I put you in the risk area. And then let's move up to the north. I think storms are going to fire just to the east of Minneapolis and just to the east of Omaha, but we do have Des Moines in the risk area as well as La Crosse, Wisconsin, and then areas of rural northern Wisconsin as those storms move through. Here's where they're going to fire this evening. This is at 6 p.m., and then that's going to work its way towards the east and kind of line out and become more of a marginal wind threat. Wind threat's not crazy with that, but once those do line out this evening, the hail threat will go way down as we push that forward all the way to early tomorrow morning. So what's that look like in terms of the hail risk for today? Pretty long, broad hail risk. Up to tennis ball size hail is possible in western Texas and the Texas Panhandle. And then up to golf ball size, I'm saying, up for those storms when they initially fire up in the upper Mississippi Valley and the upper Midwest before those line out. Let's zoom down here into Texas. I've got a moderate chance for Midland, Odessa. A lot of the model runs this morning were consistently showing a couple cells going up in that area. So I took the hint, put them at a moderate risk for up to tennis ball size hail. Lubbock, you've got a pretty low chance in Lubbock, and same thing in Amarillo. That's generally because these storms are going to be so widely scattered and there's just not going to be a lot of coverage for them. Let's move up towards Wichita. I've got a pretty marginal risk for Wichita. We'll see if that radar, forecast radar actually verifies. You have up to $50 size hail possibilities for that. Let's go up Des Moines, pretty marginal risk. We'll see if those storms can actually hit you, but they should be firing to the west of you. So there's a decent chance, but I kept you in the marginal because I'm not guaranteeing it right now. So marginal chance for Des Moines for up to golf ball size hail. And then La Crosse, those storms look like they're going to fire just to your west or on top of you. So I put you at a moderate risk for up to golf ball size hail before those storms line out to your east and work off towards the east. Here's our future radar for tomorrow. We do see storms start to fire in the higher plains in the central and northern plains, moving eastward throughout the evening. Those initial storms could have some really big hail, up to tennis ball, possibly even baseball size, and then it's going to work its way, well, it went away, but it's going to work its way to the east and potentially a wind risk for Omaha later in the evening as those storms line out and then push eastward. Let's take a look at the northeast now. See these scattered storms starting tomorrow afternoon around 2:30 Eastern time, and those are going to push eastward through Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, up in Vermont and New Hampshire. So we'll see if we can get some marginal hail out of that. Up to about $50 size, I think, is possible with any of those storms that stay isolated and can maintain those good updrafts. As I let that run through and disappear on its own, we'll move forward to tomorrow's risk area. Let's take a look here. Yep, the tennis ball size hail is possible. Pretty rural area, Nebraska Panhandle and northeastern Colorado. We've seen this risk several times in the last week, but the difference we've got going on here is the Northeast actually has a shot at seeing some hail tomorrow. Let's zoom in and see what we got for probabilities here. Pretty low chance for Amarillo. Models haven't really been picking up on too much going on down there, but we could see an isolated storm pop up in the area, so marginal chance for Amarillo for up to golf ball size hail. And there's not too much population out here, so Goodland, Kansas is the biggest town around, and pretty marginal risk of them actually getting hit. Those storms should be more off to the northwest, but we could see a storm pop up in Goodland and work its way eastward tomorrow afternoon and evening as well. And let's push to the east. Pittsburgh, marginal chance for up to $half size hail, and Syracuse is my other pick city for marginal chance for up to $half size hail. Now let's take a look at what's possible for Thursday. This is a preliminary risk. We kind of need to see what happens tomorrow to see what's really going to happen on Thursday. So I'm keeping this preliminary now, but we do have Oklahoma City in the risk, Wichita's in the risk, all the way eastward to St. Louis in the risk, just south of Omaha, but we could see Dallas possibly sneak into the risk, and then the risk moves down to the southwest, and this is nothing new, western Texas, southwestern Texas, possibly in the risk for Thursday as well, but stay tuned with us because we're going to keep updating this as we see how things play out. Make sure you connect with us on all of our socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Pretty easy to find us. We're at HailTrace on all those. And if you want to talk to us, on the phone, 855-334-4245. You can email us info@hailtrace.com, or just go to hailtrace.com. You can talk to us in that little intercom chat bubble in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Let's see if we can get some hail today. Let's see if we can get some hail in the Northeast tomorrow, and let's hope that Thursday plays out to be an I-35 corridor kind of day. For HailTrace, I'm meteorologist Frank Gaetano. Everybody have a fantastic rest of your day.